What's up guys, Epic fucking Slayers here and welcome back to a brand new Division video. So earlier on today I released a community post simply titled The Future of the Division, asking for your guys' feedback, and you were very gracious to leave a lot of comments which I have gone through. And in today's video what I'm going to be doing is, going over a couple of those comments, addressing those comments and then giving my opinion on the future of the Division and where I can see it going into year 3. So if you do enjoy this one, drop a like as it will be greatly appreciated. Sit back and let's do this. So let's start off with the first comment here from Tubbs600. The future is Division 2, let's be honest. As for the Division itself, a small dedicated player base these days. So I've got to admit, most of the comments were talking about the Division 2, which, got to remember guys, is not confirmed. Obviously I did a video recently where Hamish said that Division 2 will be set in New Zealand. Bit of a joke, obviously he's from those areas so he would say that, but really the Division 2 has not been confirmed. We don't know if it's going to be coming, although I would expect it to come just because Division itself was like the biggest release for Ubisoft ever, and yes, it hasn't quite lived up to the hype for a lot of people. For me it definitely has, but for a lot of people it hasn't, and it died off, not died off pretty quickly, but it lost a lot of its player base pretty quickly. And I'm hoping that with 1.8 we get a lot of players back, and it's sort of, what they need to do is they need to really build this game so that if they do release Division 2, people are going to want to play it. Because that's my only worry with Division 2, is now that a lot of people who have experienced the Division have not had a good experience, when the Division 2 comes out, they're not going to want to play it. But I really do think that Division 2 is in the works. I probably don't think we're going to be getting it until maybe 2019, something like that. I don't think we'll be getting it next year, but it's something that I would love to see. I think we're probably going to get a year 3 of the Division itself, but yeah, the Division 2 we just don't know about. Actually, I saw a post recently on Reddit, and there's a lot of jobs going at Ubisoft at the moment, and a few of them is labelled The Division, and they're asking for writers. Now, from my understanding, they're not going to be really adding any sort of story-based content to the Division from now on. So a lot of people have been speculating that the reason they need writers, and there was a lot of other positions as well that for the Division, the reason they need writers is because this is actually for Division 2, and obviously they didn't want to put that on the job advertisement because people will know then that the Division 2 is coming. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's all speculation, but I'm pretty sure Division 2 will be coming out, but at this present time it's not confirmed. And I have to say, yeah, I mean, it does look as though the future of the Division is the Division 2, and we are kind of just winding down to that. Even though we have one of the biggest, or the biggest update coming out in 1.8, I still think we are kind of winding down towards that Division 2 coming out in the next couple of years. So moving on to the next comment from Christoph Stevens. 1.8 is Massive's chance to prove they can finally make the Division work. If 1.8 is successful, many players will return, and a sequel will have a loyal fan base that's ready to jump on board. If 1.8 is just bugged, glitched and unbalanced, then us existing players will finally give up, quit, move on to other games, and doubt Massive are capable of delivering a working game. 1.8 seems to be a massive change. A lot of people, especially a lot of comments I've had, have said, look, 1.8 will make or break this game. And in some ways, I have to agree. It's the biggest update there is. And if they're gonna make any update right, it has to be this one, because a lot of people are gonna, especially because I assume 1.8 is gonna be coming out early December, around Christmas time. They really need to hit it hard so that people join the game, they enjoy it, and then when the Division 2 comes out, if it comes out of course, then they are going to have a loyal fan base there. So this update is the biggest update. It's completely free, and I think it's going to bring back a lot of people. I really do. I don't think it'll be the last sort of big patch that we get. I really don't. I think there will be a year 3 with this game, but it just seems that a lot of people are kind of saying 1.8 is, if 1.8 goes well, then the Division has a bright future. If it doesn't, it's the end. And although I agree with that, I don't, because a lot of people have been saying that about every patch from like 1.4. Every patch has come out, everyone said, look, if it's successful, great. If it's not, it's going to die. But every time it carries on, and there's always that loyal fan base there who will always be there, regardless of how broke this game gets. They will always be there, no matter what. But I do agree, 1.8 has to be awesome. I'm not optimistic in some ways because of what I experienced on the PTS and a few, things that they're doing to the game I don't agree with, but I'm not going to really go into that now. But the future is bright if 1.8 can pull out of the bag, and I really I really want it to, man. I really, really want it to. I've got my fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything's fucking crossed at this point in time. So yeah, let's see if it works out, because if it does, the Division's got a bright future. So lastly, I have 2 comments here that I want to address. The first one is from Taylor Stewart. A very, very good comment. A lot of detail. It says, in a trash can. So that's a well done, mate. Great comment. And then secondly, on a more serious note, this one's from Daryl Scott. Taken too long on 1.8 because people turn on other titles. So I think he's basically saying that 1.8 is taken far too long. People are going to other titles. So the future is looking pretty fucking bleak for the Division. It's pretty much what both of those are saying. Obviously, Daryl Scott made some attempts, whereas my man Taylor Stewart, if you're watching this one, not the best attempt in the world. I've got to say that people are not going to really go to other titles if they enjoy this game as much as I do. The reason being that no matter what the fuck happens to this game, I always come back to this game because you just don't get the experience from the Division that you get in it. There's no other game that is like the Division. No game that is like... I can spend an hour or 2 just making a build. No other game allows me to do that, ever. No other game has ever allowed me to do that. I can sink hours into creating builds. And I still do it to this day, obviously with the new classified gear, exotic gear, 1.8 coming out. I can sink hours into builds that you just don't get in any other game. There's so much variety on builds. Yes, you know, there are the meta builds, and yes, there are certain builds that are going to be stronger than others, but ultimately, you get to play the game the way you want to fucking play it at the end of the day. It's balanced in respect of, if you want to throw down a fire turret and you want to, you know, spec into a fire turret, you can, and you can do well with it. You know, if you want to throw down a sniper build, you can, and you can do well with it. No matter what you want to do, you can do. Really, with this game, as long as you invest the time to, you know, working it all out. And you know, there are problems with the game. No one's gonna say no to that. But the game itself, there's no other game on the market like it, not at all. And Division 2 will be hopefully more of the same, but just a lot fucking better. If you go back and watch the E3 trailer of the Division, that game looked so good. And do you know what? Right now, I'm thinking that's the Division 2. You know, like 10 dark zones, you know, where it just looks so bloody good. I definitely recommend going to check that back out. There's actually a YouTuber by the name of Jesmine. I'll probably butcher his name, but he did a video about it, and definitely worth checking out. So I've got to say that to those 2 comments, I disagree. I really do disagree, and I think the future of the Division is very, very, very bright. I really do. And if it's not, and it, you know, 1.8 fails, the Division 2 will come out. It will definitely come out, and it will be amazing. I'm sure of it. It has to be amazing. I mean, the Division 1 itself for me has been amazing, so the Division 2 has to be anyway. So there you go, guys. I mean, that's my fucking 2 cents. You can dislike the video as much as you want. No, like the video if you agree with my opinion. I know a lot of you that watch me are loyal, you know, die-hard fucking Division fans, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you will agree with me here. But there's no game like the Division. There's no game on the market like the Division. So there you go. Thanks for your time, and until the next one, peace.